Hey y'all, so I just wanted to give you a quick little view here of a project I'm getting ready to do. I'm holding my phone, so please forgive me for shaking, but I need to hold it to show everything. And there's Annie. Annie, Annie, can you say good morning? Annie? No, no. So what I'm trying to do here is, oops, so sorry guys. I have this giant Filofax thing, and for all over the years, this has been my gardening journal. So everything I plant, and how it turns out goes in here. I've got like phases of the moon to help you know, because that helps you know like when to garden. I have like the zones glued in here, packets of things that I have planted, you know, just all kinds of things, and notes. I've got photographs of some of the things that I have grown, what they turned out like, just chock full of information in here. Lots and lots of pages. This is very big and bulky to carry around, and oh my god, very heavy. Also, in Florida, you know, the planting situation is going to be different because they have very high temperatures, and then also, you know, you have a lot of rain every day. You have rain, but then you have very high heat and dry. So I'm going to have to relearn my whole planting situation. So I was digging through my things, and I found this. This is like a dupe to a Midori Traveler's Notebook. I picked this up at a flea market for like $1, and you can buy these online. They're just the cover, and then your notebooks go inside on these elastics. So I had this one sitting around, and it's completely empty. So what I'm going to do is, I've got 2 books here, 2 coloring books. This one I purchased in Yellow Springs because I wanted some kind of a little souvenir, even though Yellow Springs is very close to me. I only go there a couple times a year. And it has some really pretty pictures in here. One's like this here. Let's see, where'd that one go? Annie, can I use your floor table? Thank you. Pictures like this here. If you take this out and fold it, you'll still be able to color it, and I think it will come out pretty cool. So, I'm going to take some pages from here, I'm going to take some pages from here, and I'm going to take some pages from this ginormous thing, go through it and see what I need and don't need, and I'm going to bind them all into a notebook. So I will be back and show you how that turns out. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye-bye. Okay, guys, so I'm back again. Trying to hold my phone and not be too shaky, so I apologize if I am too shaky. Here was my old gardening journal, this big fat thing. So I moved everything out of that, and it's a huge mess that I now have on my bed. But my kitchen was freezing, so I decided to do this in here. Now I'm going to give this leather, it's a nice one. I'm going to give this to my husband for his work stuff. And I've got my stuff condensed down, so here's my cover that I was showing you that is going to be garden stuff related. There's, you know, your strings that you put your booklets in. In this one, you get this insert here with these card holders, and since this is a gardening journal, like you could put small photos in there if you wanted to of things that you've planted. Or you could put business cards from different, you know, places greenhouses and places that sell plants and things that you buy. You could put cards in there for reference. And then here's the pocket, and I have in here just a bunch of different other plant thingies that I have planted over the years that I didn't want to throw away. Because I've thrown away a whole bunch. You saw how big and fat that leather thing is. I've thrown away a whole bunch, but there are some things that are you know, sentimental that I want to include in here. Like, to give you an example, here was an entry about sunflowers, and then it says Jack dug it up. And that's my dog that passed. And so, I mean, it's just precious to me. I was mad that day, but it's precious to me to remember these things. So I'm going to incorporate them in the new journal, even though the new journal will be, you know, for a new place that I live. Okay. Also, let me show you this. I have this, the Gardener's Journal and Record Book by Annie Prowl. I don't know how to say that. But you have all these entries like this, where you have like things that you can, you know, note down about different plants and things. And this is a big book, and I don't need all of this. I would never probably plant that much in the rest of my lifetime. So I don't need to bring all this, and I don't need to have another book, you know. This spot could be used by a coloring book. Heck yeah. So what I've started to do is take out the pages of that book that I think I might use, and I'm cutting them to size so that I can make a booklet out of those to put into the journal along with what I already have in this booklet, which I'm going to show you in a second. So it's going to have this. It's going to have a booklet of its own with these plans and graph paper, so that when I move, I can draw out my new, whatever area I'm in. I can draw out my new planting situation, you know, and what I'm going to put in, and keep track of that. So that's something I've got going on, as well as these here. So this will be sideways and folded, you know, in the Traveler's Notebook style. It'll be like this. But I don't mind, because I can still write. I can still write, and I can still sketch in it. It doesn't really matter to me. You can bind it to where it's not bound. You can just put a rubber band in your inserts if you want. And in other words, like these here. Okay. These are all just pieces of paper folded in half, right? All that was pieces of paper. And then they're stapled, and that's a bound book. Well, you could put all the pieces of paper together and put a rubber band around them and fold it, and that's a bound book as well. It's just not permanently bound. So you can do it that way if you like to have things that come out easy, you know. You just pull them out and then draw on them or write on them the right way up, and then put them back in for your storage. Some people do that with traveler's notebooks. I also am going to take, did I say this already in the first video? Now I don't even remember what I said, but I'm going to take some of the pages in here, because this is really nice thick paper. But there's a lot of these pictures that I don't care for, so I don't think I'm going to take this book with me when I move, but I will take some of these pages out and cut them down. Because like things like this you can cut, because it's just random. I will cut them down and put those in the book as well, to give myself some nice thick, because the back of this paper is, I mean, this paper itself is thick, and the back of it is worth it just to use for drawing and stuff. So that will be with the third insert. So it will be the record keeping insert, the journaling part that I'm going to show you here in a second, and then a coloring portion, so that when I have the book with me, when I have this with me, I can either write journaling notes, you know, in it. I can do creative things like sketch in the garden, or I could actually color if I have, you know, some pencils with me sitting outside. So here is the empty book that I think I showed you in the first video. And I've got somewhere with it. Worked on it for a few hours now. So I have this going on, this picture here going around as my cover. It's a guy with a plant on his head, face. I don't know. I got it out of a surfing magazine. So I'll probably add more stuff until this is full. When the cover is full, I usually put clear contact paper on them, because otherwise you know, it starts pilling up and everything. So, yeah. So I've got a little pocket here, and I've saved some of the actual plants that I have grown in this house. I've lived here quite some time, I think about 10 years, so there's a lot of, you know, memories just to look at those. It reminds me of things. Sometimes I've used the seed packets of the actual plants that I planted to hold things, memories, magazine things, and then I've left myself room to sketch or add more pictures or write. Again, I've used the actual seed that I planted as a pocket for putting things in. And these are actual pictures, you know, like of things that I've grown. So, and then here's the, like there's the plant, and then there's the packet. And then again, more room. Sometimes I've just put in a piece of paper just in case I want to write more, or I want to maybe sketch on like a toned tan color paper. I put that there. I love this picture right here, and I think it would be really fun to copy over here and try to make it into a colored pencil drawing. I'm sorry if you can hear my dog snoring. and you know, I love orange, so I put that there. Here's some ideas about making a memory garden, which I really thought was cool. So I saved that. This all came out of that big fat leather thing, like just was stuffed full of stuff. This came out of the journal as well. I'm going to put a picture of the actual garden Buddha that I bought, but I went shopping with my daughter and my grandson, and it's just a good memory for me. I don't know if I'll bring the Buddha statue with me or not, but it reminds me of summer in the garden, so I put that there. More things that I've grown, and here's another piece of that paper that I, what did I do? I actually glued this one down and then covered it with this there, so it's its own flappy flap. So here's where I have stuck together two pictures back to back, and then tipped those in. Anytime you tape something in and it's its own page, that's called a tip in. So I've tipped those in, and then I loved this quote right here. So some of them I've covered up. This book repeats itself. I don't remember how many quotes there are, but they run through more than one time. But I really liked this one because it was talking about the sun and the moon and the stars, and this ball just reminded me, like, 'cause I don't know, the way it's reflecting the nighttime, or it's just cool. So anyway, yeah, so you see how I give myself room to write. Like, I can write. I don't have to do it now because I remember this plant, and I remember, you know, about it. So I can later on reflect about that. But just getting it in here is where I'm starting at. So more empty pages, just playing with some watercolor things just to give the paper that not white look that you want some color, right? So it's not so intimidating. This one came out of the other journal. It was already like a collage, so I just ripped off the sides to make it fit into here. And that's so cute. Sorry about the glare. It's so cute with that little baby and the flowers. And then again, more. This one is how to make an herb box, so I kept that. More paper. And then I liked this moon gardening by Phase of the Moon. And it just, I mean, not that I would actually really, if I want to plant something, I'm just going to plant it. But it's just cool because it's like, you know, old school stuff. And I have a Farmer's Almanac that has some similar things like this in it. So when I'm done using it, I'll probably add more to that because I like the way that it looks. Poppies. I love poppies. You know, they remind me of the Wizard of Oz, but more so than that, it's just, I think they're so cool. This poppy package, I've never opened it, and you're not going to believe this, but I have carried this from house to house to house for 25 years maybe. And now it's just a symbol that wherever I go, you know, I'm home. There's no place like home, right? I don't know. Call me sentimental. And then I found this quote from Sue Monk Kidd about the secret life of bees. And it was just cool. And this might be even something that I color in. This was just a cool piece of scrapbook paper that I tipped that in as well. And cut out a little cardboard flower from something or other that I had. Have no clue anymore. Some more empty paper here. Marigolds. I love marigolds, and I seem to be able to grow them very well. And they do really well for me. I don't know if it's me or the area, but I have so many pictures of marigolds. This is the one I put in there just to remember. And that's another one of those cool, like, old things, you know, beliefs about plants or whatever that I put in there. And then, you know, empty paper, because I got to have room to do more stuff. So here's, again, the actual plant packet that I had, and then an actual picture of my garden, what it looked like in it. And there was this little frog, which is probably a toad, and I don't know the difference. I apologize. I think frogs are by water, but I live right on the river, so I don't know. But he came to live at my place for a while. Yeah, so I wrote about him. And I don't want to forget that, even though that won't be, you know, in my new place. It's still a happy, good memory. And then in the back here, I have just some of those, more of those old gardening belief things that are just cool, you know, just little things. I don't know. So, yeah, so that's what I've got so far. And all of these type of memory things here that I didn't want to throw away. I'm just going to hang on to them for a little while, because in this particular traveler's notebook, it did come with this tone tan paper insert. This craft paper insert is what it really is. So I have more room to put these things if I want to. You know, like I said, just about jack digging it up and stuff. If I don't, I can always cut this down and make it fit into the other insert that I'm working on currently. So that's my project that I got going on. I just wanted to share where it's at now. And when everything is all done in this book, I'll probably do a flip through then. So I have a mess. I better go clean it up. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you have any questions or want to see any kind of process about this, let me know. And I will talk to you guys later. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.